Welcome back to the pregame show. The Rough Riders taking on the Corpus Christi Hooks, and I'm joined by one of the Texas League postseason All-Star selections for the Rough Riders, Brett Nicholas. Brett, a big day for you yesterday. You announced as the All-Star, but also an invitation to the Arizona Fall League as well. Let's start with the Texas League postseason All-Star selection, though. You were a midseason All-Star for the first time, and now a postseason All-Star. You were pretty much a shoo-in, I think, when most people looked at how you produced this year, leading the league in RBIs, total bases, your top five in batting average as well. Were you nervous or anxious knowing that it was going to be announced at some point here soon, and you're thinking about the possibility of you being on that list?
I don't know about nervous or anxious, but you get real excited about it. The fact of the matter is, there's so many talented first basemen in this league, and the Kyle Rawlings and the Matt Fields, and you can name the Aliotti. There's so many of them, so it's a tough race, and I'm just very fortunate that luckily my name was considered for it, and I got it, and I know how much hard work went into it. And I know how much hard work the other guys put into it, so it's a huge honor, and I don't take it lightly.
And when you found out, and when friends and family found out, what's the feedback and the support been like from people that you've known, and what's the last 24 hours been like?
They just call and congratulate. They just like I said, they know how much hard work's gone into not just this year, but the years, back in high school and college, and how much time and effort's gone into all of it. So when something comes out that's positive, everybody wants to make sure and let you know about it, especially since baseball is not a negative sport, but you succeed 30% of the time and you're successful. So whenever positive things happen in baseball, people really make sure and reach out and let people know. And it's throughout baseball, and it's something really nice, and I love talking to them, and like I said, I don't take it lightly.
Well, we're not quite done with the season here, but pretty close, and you're really going to smash most of your offensive records for yourself, personal bests. We've asked you this before. We talked about this. You're not really being much of a home run hitter. Are you finally ready to crack that open and say that you're a power hitter? You're more than doubled your previous career high in home runs, and the batting average and slugging all should be career best this year as well.
I don't know if I still don't consider myself a power hitter. I'm still a doubles guy, and luckily, I had a lot of fortunate balls hit this year. I think, it's a nice first step, and it's something that needs to be built on. You just can't be happy with what you did last season or what's going on right now. It's always got to be about the future. Going into the off season, it's going to be a lot of hard training and just trying to make myself even better for next year. And that way, if you ever get fortunate enough to where the big league team calls you and wants you to help them out, that you're able to step right in and not skip a beat.
Here with Brett Nicholas, was there a point during the season where you stopped and maybe you did see the statistics, or you just felt like you were really playing some of your best baseball of your career, that you just kind of stopped and appreciated what kind of season you really put together this year?
Not so far yet, and I think the coaching staff can tell you. I was struggling a little bit at the beginning of August, and there's almost a little bit of panic that sets in. It's the season's not over, and every day you got to work, even though we're out of the race. Every day you got to work, and you try to get better. That way, you can learn from what you did wrong the year before. So I think once September 3rd hits, I'll take a chance and kind of look back on things. But as of right now, it's still about working hard and trying to finish strong and trying to get better each day.
You bring up early August, really a rare slide for you. You've been so consistent all season long. Just 7 times this year going back-to-back games without a hit. Not one time did you go 3 games without a base hit this season, which is pretty remarkable. Hitting 400, or better than 400 over your last 7 games. You talked about maybe some panic setting in. Was there a concerted effort or re-energization over the last few days to lock in here for the stretch run?
Well, I think those off days were huge for us. The Mondays we had off early in August, and I think when it comes to myself, it was more of a losing reality in the sense that you see the end, you see the finish line, and you see all your goals that you set for the year, and you say, I can do a little bit better, I can do a little bit better, and you start to put a little bit of pressure on yourself that nobody else is putting on yourself, but that you're doing it. It's self-imposed pressure. And I think the mindset was just what was going wrong. But the couple of off days we had on Mondays really helped kind of take a step back and realize, what you're doing is just fine. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to do anything above and beyond. Just keep staying consistent and be that same ball player that you are day in and day out.
You've been hovering right around the 300 number here the last month. Is that an important number for you as far as the batting average goes?
I don't think it's as big of a deal. My big number for me is RBIs. the more runs you can drive in, the more runs you can score. It helps the ball club out. Guys can be successful hitting 230 or hitting 330 if they're helping the team score runs, which is the ultimate goal in the game of baseball. Then that's the important part. So it'd be nice to finish above 300, but the RBIs are really the key factor that I try and succeed and get every day.
Here with Brett Nicholas, postseason All-Star here for the Rough Riders. And Brett, one thing that I found strange about the midseason All-Star selection and this postseason All-Star selection is that by the way that they shook out the voting, you ended up being the DH in both categories, both midseason and postseason. Now you're a guy that plays mostly first base, but you've played some catcher as well. Does that chap you a little bit? Would you like to have a position next to your name as opposed to just the designated hitter, since you're very rarely that?
I don't know if it chaps my hide at all, but it kind of that's kind of the part of the motivation you can use going into the off season is. I take a lot of pride in my defense, both at first base and catcher. I still consider myself a catcher, even though I don't play there very often. So it's something that I can use as motivation and force people to see me as a defender as well as an offensive player. But as far as the what it says next to the name, just the fact that being named to the All-Star team and that the coaches think that highly of me is really saying enough. I'm not going to be picky on that. It's an honor that they remember me and think that highly of me.
Well, you brought up the offseason as well. Like I said at the beginning here, in addition to the postseason All-Star selection, you were also named the same day to be playing in the Arizona Fall League. That's something where some of the best prospects in the game are going to be playing there. What does that honor mean to you to be able to be included upon that list?
It just kind of shows how far I've come in the last few years. I think we talked about this a little bit earlier in the year. This is my first team I've ever made out of spring training, so it just shows that, even though you go through struggles at the beginning of your career, it's just about all the strides that you make towards the positive and all the hard work that goes into it. It's just another thing that really kind of helps you keep pushing harder and harder, and just because you make it, I told a lot of the guys early in the year, I didn't just want to be a part of this Frisco team. I wanted to be a big contributor to it. And it's the same thing with the Fall League. Is I'm honored to be named to the Fall League, but I don't just want to go there and enjoy my time. I want to go there. I want to work hard. I want to find out what makes all those other guys that good, why they're successful with their game, and try to help my career out and try to make myself a better ball player when it comes spring training time.
Well, you've got some big plans for the fall as well. You're planning on getting married in October. Are you going to have to run from the ball field to the chapel to get married in October? How is that going to play out? Have you figured that out yet?
Yeah, I actually talked to our farm director, Tim Papura, and he was very supportive. I'm getting married on a Saturday. We have all Sundays off in the Fall League. And then so he's going to, I get a couple days off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do the wedding. Which is more than I would have thought that they'd be willing to, but the fact that they are just shows how highly they think of each player, and that they respect that, baseball is what we do as a job, what we do as a career, but we also have a family and everything outside of baseball. And the fact that they let me take a few days off to get married to Rachel is something that I couldn't thank them enough for.
Well, you're going to have to put off the honeymoon, I guess. Do you guys know where you're going yet?
We're trying for Bora Bora, but we're going to see if the finances fit there.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Brett. Good luck here the last few games, and have a great offseason as well.
Thank you very much.
That was Brett Nicholas. We'll be back after this on the Frisco Rough Riders Baseball Network.